headed to somewhere that I have been looking forward to head to in quite some time. Just wanted to connect with you all and let you know there's an individual that has spent some time with me recently that has been a very integral part of both Jen and I's kind of walk out of Adventism early on in the early stages. Some of you might actually have watched a few things that he has created, but I'm going to get a chance to go spend the entire day with Tess the Prophet. So if you haven't yet gotten an opportunity to check out some of his items on his channel, Tess the Prophet, on his YouTube channel, and do me a favor, go over there and get some time on his channel, re-watch his videos. They are extraordinary. They're amazing. They're some of the best videos that I have ever to date gotten to spend time with, dealing with the topic of plagiarism, literary borrowing, however you want to coin the phrase. But excited to just get some time with him, and we're just going to nerd out today. We're going to figure out some Obsidian stuff. We're going to spend some time on some projects that he's been working on. More importantly, just going to get to hang out with him and get to know him a little bit more. But I got to thinking as I'm headed to his location right now. I've been doing a lot of kind of prepping and setting up for my master's program, and lo and behold, one of the big things that gets talked about in your early stages of the THM program at Dallas Theological Seminary, and I would imagine this is true for most master's programs, especially academically focused master's programs, there is a lot of talk about proper research, utilizing scholars, how to utilize them, how to not disparage scholars in your writing. They talk about making sure that you don't plagiarize, making sure that you're not falling prey to any kind of logical fallacies in your writing. Don't engage in emotional responses. Academic writing is supposed to be factual. It's supposed to be based on stating your claim, your thesis, and then supporting that claim with not just any resources, but resources that are academically reliable, sound, exegetically sound, things of that nature. So it just got me thinking as I'm driving to spend some time with Tess the Prophet, that most of his entire YouTube career and what he's kind of known for is dealing with Ellen White's literary borrowing, her plagiarism. And I know a lot of Adventist apologists and scholars like to wiggle their way around certain things, and plagiarism wasn't really what it was in the late 1800s or early 1900s wasn't what it is today. And there's ways that they wiggle out of those particular things. I think the bigger issue is, why do we have a acclaimed prophet or prophetess that made statements that were basically that she was more than a prophet. She didn't want to be considered a prophet or prophetess, specifically because that title, you got to think about contextually what that meant. That title related to types of people during that time period that were similar to the Fox sisters, the Jehovah's Witnesses, even people that were Latter-day Saint Mormons. They were ideas that that were populated by prophets of the day that she wanted to distance herself from. And I get that. I totally get that. And so the statements that she makes about, like, you know, I'm not a prophet. I am more than a prophet. My mission, my writings, all that stuff was to distance herself. And so it wasn't really a claim that she believed that she wasn't having the direction or working of God. It was more of a claim that that she didn't want to be what the cultural concept of prophet was in the day. So she claimed more than that. She claimed to be more than a prophet. She claimed her writings were directly from God, especially her visions and dreams. I mean, she made some very bold claims with regards to her writings. And I just want to say this as I'm headed over I'm so excited to spend some time with him. I think the major issue here is you've got a prophet that is claiming to be more than the prophet of the day, that not only during her time, but also as time has progressed, we know explicitly that she was dependent on other authors, that things that she had in vision, we know conclusively that much of those items were either dependent upon or reliant on, and at times pulled directly from other sources without giving any props, without giving any sources, it was, these things were from God. So you got to understand that academically today, this is the worst of the worst. You wouldn't even be taken serious. And my concern is that we've got so many Adventists today that depend on her writings for their understanding and interpretation. And yet she isn't even a credible witness to Scripture. She's not even a credible witness to academic writing. She's not even a credible author with regards to how she put together her writings, her creative, she was very, very creative in her writings. But man, we're going to talk today I'm almost to where I'm going to spend time with Test the Prophet, but we are going to spend a lot of time digging in to this whole plagiarism claim and just nerding out today on the ins and outs of Test the Prophet's academic, work, and his tireless time that he has spent engaging in the work of kind of identifying if she really was a plagiarist. And in modern times, absolutely, she was. The last thing I want to leave you with is, if this person, Ellen White, who claimed to be a prophetess and more than a prophet, if she claims that, and if she then borrows from and is literally dependent upon in even the visions that she got, what does that say about her prophetic ministry? So I'll leave you with that. Now, I see some comments. No, Alpha Matter, no, I'm not driving a Jeep. I'm driving, actually, we are driving my wife's vehicle, which is it's got only 10,000 miles on it. It's a Lexus GX 450, I believe it is. It looks like a Range Rover. It probably has a little bit of a feel like maybe a Jeep, although it's their top-end Lexus. So, phenomenal vehicle, by the way, if you want to own one. But friends, I just wanted to let you know I'm excited. This has been a couple of years in the planning. I'm honored to spend some time with this this person that has done a lot for me personally. He has encouraged me spiritually, academically. I have a great amount of respect for Test the Prophet's work, and just praising the Lord for the opportunity to spend a day with him and get to know him, and just kind of nerd out. So with that, I just wanted to give you some thoughts. Looking forward to getting back next week. There will not be any Revelation conversation on Friday. We'll be traveling back to the house on Friday. And I'm not sure how things will pan out next week. My parents are coming into town on Sunday. They'll be here for almost a week. So that will pose some challenges. If you know my personal testimony, you'll know that will be some interesting time and engagement. But just want to say, hey, just want to engage in a little bit of friendly dialogue this morning and a challenge on the plagiarism claim. Tell you what, Ellen White would be the worst seminary student ever if she submitted some of her work. So, there's that. Friends, I will see you later. We'll see you on the next one. Be good.